Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be showing you a very repeatable and a powerful model using which you can call up to 5,000 leads every single day, all on autopilot. This system has helped my company as well as a dozen other agencies land tons of clients and book up to 10 to 12 qualified meetings every single week. And by the end of this video, you will be able to do the same. So, why cold call 5,000 people every single day? Well, it's simple really. You land in front of 5,000 decision makers every day, and calling is one of the mediums where you can get clear visibility. You don't need to chase algorithms, you don't need to run ads, and you don't need to chase referrals as well. And calling is one of the simplest and the best ways to reach to customers directly. But if you do this wrong, your calls will go to spam and it will be a huge waste of your time as well as money. So how do you call to this scalably and land in front of decision makers? Well, let's go through this step by step. What do you actually need to make 5,000 cold calls every single day? Well, first of all, when it comes to cold calling, we would not be using our personal phone numbers or our work phone numbers. Ideally, we would like to buy a dozen or more virtual phone numbers from multiple areas and call using these numbers. Also, you would want these calls to be made automatically by an AI agent, which can not only make calls but also gauge interest of the person and gather information from the lead, right? For this, we would require AI agents that are intelligent enough to score the leads, analyze the calls, and gather information from the customers. And in order to simplify all of that, we can use Kaiso AI. And guys, using Kaiso AI is dead simple. All you've got to do is go onto the platform, right? Log in, and once you are into this system, you will be able to see a lot of ready-made AI agents. Now, these AI agents have been crafted by Kaiso team using their AI prompting expertise. And you can also get custom AI agents made specific to your industry and specific to your use case. All you've got to do is request a new agent right from this tab. Now, another feature that they've added is that you can purchase phone numbers directly from within the platform. So, say you want to reach out in a campaign to some clients in the US, and in the second campaign you want to reach out to certain people within the UK. You don't need to go ahead and go talk to various phone providers in the US, in the UK, get those numbers in order to reach out to them. You can get numbers for any country within the world directly from within this platform. All you've got to do is request a new number. And once you've got these AI agents and these custom phone numbers set up as per your use case, you can go ahead and trigger those campaigns. And triggering campaigns within this platform is dead easy, guys. All you've got to do is name a new campaign, right? Add leads, right? So if you want to say call 5,000 people a day, you need to add a lead list which is 5,000 people long. Once this lead list is added, you've got to do some mapping as to which column within the lead list maps to which parameters within the platform, right? And all of this is handled intelligently within the backend, guys. Once the lead list is uploaded, you will be able to select the specific agent you want the conversation to take place from. So in my case, I want a real estate cold caller. Once I save this agent, you can schedule the timings for each campaign, right? So a lot of times you want certain cold calls to take place within certain times of the day. And in my case, I've seen that cold calls when placed during the weekend, especially during the afternoon hours to say till 6 p.m., work the best. So I would urge you to experiment with the timings with different campaigns, try out weekdays, weekends, the morning half, the second half of the day, and see what time and what schedule for cold calls works best for you. Now, the final step, you've got to choose phone numbers you want to trigger the calls from. And guys, Kaizo has thought about everything. So say if you wanted to place 5,000 calls in a single day and you used only one phone number, well, surely that phone would get marked as a spam number. But if you use multiple phone numbers, as you can clearly do in Kaizo, each of those contacts get divided within each phone number, and you make less calls from one phone number within one day, reducing the chances of it being marked as spam, right? And all you've got to do is launch this campaign, and once you launch the campaign, it'll trigger those outbound calls immediately. Now, this also allows you to be ultra data driven. Guys, you can see how many calls were placed, how many people actually picked up the call, how many people actually had an engaging conversation, which is a conversation which lasted more than 20 to 30 seconds, right? and this gives you detailed analysis of each campaign. And there are custom call logs here, custom tools which you can go through. So there are various forms of different integrations: WhatsApp integration, sentiment analysis, custom data extraction, calendar integrations, email integrations, your custom CRM integrations. A lot of things are available within the platform, and all of this allows you to tailor make your AI cold calls to make them sound as human as possible and to extract immense value from this. So guys, how do you actually call 5,000 people every single day? And guys, there are two things that are extremely important when you're cold calling at this volume every single day. It's going to be the who and the what. How do you make sure that when we call these leads that they are actually going to pick up the phone? And how do we make sure that the people that respond will respond positively to these calls? Now, coming to the who, your lead list is everything, guys. This is extremely important. You've got to have a high quality lead list. Either you buy it through a lead broker, maybe have some other softwares, or you've been building a lead list over the years, or you have a list of cold leads that you want to reactivate. But it all boils down to the quality of the leads that you're calling. Now, coming to the what. What does the AI agent actually say when the person on the other end picks up the call? This is another equally important piece of the puzzle that we need to solve. And there are several things that we need to keep in mind while doing this. The call needs to have a personal touch. It needs to be crisp, and it needs to provide the value at the beginning. This is where our AI agents come in. And in order to solve this, if you check out our agents, right, these prompts can be ultra modified to suit your specific use case. You can use different LLMs, different text to speech models, different voices, articulation, different accents to suit this to your particular geography, your particular demographic, and your particular use case, right? And our team of experts will help you get this set up in no time. Our team has a turnaround time of 24 hours to get a specific AI agent made to your use case. All you've got to do is request a new agent, specify the purpose of your agent. So in my case, it would be real estate outbound cold calling, right? And then you name your agent, say Tommy the outbound. And then you give a basic conversational flow of how you want it to go, right? I want my agent to gather the customer's requirement along with their budget and the apartment size they are looking for. And then you can give some special instructions. So if you want the agent, I want the agent to sound Arabic, right? And I want the language to be in both English as well Arabic, right? And once you submit the request, you will see a custom made AI agent in your platform within the next 24 hours. And what I like to do is I like to add what I'm offering right at the beginning of the call with some social proof, because you only have a couple of seconds to catch the people's attention. So let's take a listen to an AI agent that I made for one of my customers, and let's see how it handled this cold call.
Hi, this is Sage from Marge Properties. Can I have 2 minutes of your time?
Yep.
Hi there. We specialize in helping homeowners like you find the best deals for their properties in Dubai. We also offer a free valuation as part of our service. May I know if you're considering selling your property?
Not really, but if you have good options, why not?
That's great to hear. We can definitely help you explore your options. To start, could you tell me a bit about your property? Is it a villa, an apartment, or a commercial space? And where is it located?
It's a 2 BHK apartment and it's in DIFC area. It's well furnished.
Thank you for sharing that. Your apartment sounds like a great asset. We'd be happy to provide you with a complimentary market valuation to give you an idea of its current worth in the Dubai real estate market. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Fantastic. Would you prefer a phone call or an in-person consultation to discuss this further? What time works best for you?
I think this weekend around 4 p.m. sounds good to me.
Perfect. I'll schedule an in-person consultation for this weekend around 4 p.m. If you have any questions before then, feel free to reach out to us on WhatsApp. Our number is +971504163419. Thank you so much for your time today. We
Thanks
look
a lot.
forward to helping you get the best deal for your property.
That's awesome. Thank you.
And guys, if you heard the call carefully, at the end of the call, I offer my CTA. I ask them whether they're interested to book a meeting with us. And even if they decline, I go ahead and ask them if it's okay for me to send them a brochure of the services we offer. Right after the call, an email is automatically triggered to the customer. And now, guys, this email or this WhatsApp that is triggered right after the call is no longer a cold message. You have already talked to the customer, and the chances that the customer will actually open up the message, go through the brochure, read through the services is extremely high. And that gets your foot in the door. And of course, you can play around with the script, test out different agents, different offers, different angles, and see what works for your customer type and your lead list. In fact, the team at Kaiso actually helps each customer set up their first few AI agents so that they can actually start landing clients. So, guys, what happens when you start the campaign? So, a lot of you must be wondering what happens once the campaign has started. How will you track what worked? Will I have to listen to each and every recording of the call and which leads are interested? Well, the answer is no. Kaizo handles all of that. And guys, all you've got to do in order to see the campaign analytics for a particular campaign is log into the account and click into that campaign. I'll just quickly show you the campaign that I want to show you. And here you can see that the total number of leads that were uploaded were 450. The total number of phone calls that were actually placed till now have been 420, because then again, if you have a particular schedule within which you're placing calls, there are only so many cold calls that can be placed within a certain day, and that limit has been set so that your phone number does not get marked as spam, and it intelligently scales up and down the limit depending upon particular geography and how strict they are in terms of marking phone numbers as spam. So our AI intelligently handles all of this in the backend so that you can focus on closing the deals. Now, coming back to the stats that we have in front of us, 420 contacts have been made. 263 people of those 420 have actually picked up the call, and 28 people have had an engaging conversation with the AI agent. And you can see these stats on each day, how many people picked up the call, what's been the distribution, and it's been quite standard, as you can see. And if you have a really good AI agent and a really good script using which you're calling these people, the stats kind of look like this. And guys, what we are really aiming at is a 2 to 3% reply rate along with a conversion of 10% of the interested leads. Doing this without automation would be impossible. Cold calling 5,000 people daily would take up a large amount of your resources, and Kaizo handles all of this automatically without the need of hiring another person in your company. And what I suggest is you play around with different angles, different lead lists, see what works for your particular customers and how they respond to different types of scripts. And guys, this is it for today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.